Dag dag.
Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you are new here. My name is Maddie. I post new Sims content every Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday at 5 p.m. Eastern Time. And today, we're about to meet some aliens, y'all. We're about to go to that little hidden world where all the aliens live at, the Simax. Yeah, it's about to be great. But you do have to be a certain caliber in order to reach this alien world, in order to create this wormhole, which we have to go through in order to start to communicating with them and whatnot. So hang on to your hats, ladies and gents, because we're about to get into it. If you like more content like this or have any suggestions for me, please leave it down below in the comment section. If you wouldn't mind leaving me a like and subscribing, as once again I do post 3 times a week, so please come back and see me. Without further ado, we're about to get started. And just a little disclaimer before we get started, because I do not want y'all trolling me in the comments. The whole video, I've been calling this place, this hidden world, Simax. It's not called Simax. It's called Sixam. I apologize. Y'all, please don't troll me. I'm so sorry. But anyway, jumping into the video. So, first things first, we are going to need to get a new career, because for one, we don't have one at this very moment. So our career we're going to need is scientist, and we're going to need to max out being a scientist. You'll see a little later in the video I'm switched over to astronaut because I confused myself. I was like, wait, no, aliens, astronaut, space, like that all makes sense. But no, you need to be a scientist. I don't know why I confused myself like that. But anyway, just stick to being a scientist. So if you see astronaut in my little bubble, don't even worry about it. You need to be a scientist. It just put me behind a little bit, but don't trip. Just be a scientist, stay a scientist up until you reach the 10th level of promotion. And I also do need to add that you do need the Get to Work expansion pack in order to access this alien world, because being a scientist comes from that pack and you get to go to work with your sim. So prior to us going to work, we want to build our rocket science knowledge and things of that nature. So we're going to go to our bookshelf and we're going to purchase some rocket science books. I believe there's like 3 volumes of it, and you're going to need to read all 3. But you're going to want to pace yourself when you read them, because if you try to read like number 2 and 3 before you actually get to building your rocket, then your sim's not going to understand what they read. You'll literally get like a little dialogue bubble like, yeah, I didn't digest any of that. So just pace your sim when it comes to reading these books. You also want to go ahead and start building up your Sims logic. If you made the mistake like I did and you're currently an astronaut, it's going to ask you to play chess anyway. So it kind of goes hand in hand. But just to quickly like build logic, I just want her to go ahead and just play chess by herself. Start working them thinking muscles, because girl, rocket science is a little hard. She even tried to quit on me at one point, and I was just like, girl, we are not having that. But anyway, she acquired her first logic skill, and she goes back to read volume 2, which is where she tells me that she doesn't understand what the fuck she just read, because I'm guessing we just hadn't gone to the rocket and actually seen for ourselves what it's gonna be looking like. And she wasn't reading the fuck thing anyway, flipping through them pages like that. Okay, it was not fast forward, y'all. She was literally flipping through them pages. But anyways, after she lets me know that she just isn't grasping the concept of the book she just read, i.e. volume 2 of rocket science, I was like, okay, now might be the time to get our hands a little dirty and, actually start being a little bit more hands-on with our knowledge and learning. So we're gonna go ahead and buy our rocket. We're getting this rocket, okay, because it's the only one we have, and it works just fine. I don't really know what the point of the other 2 rockets is. Don't really care either. Anyway, so now we're going to start building our rocket. It costs us 5,000 to even acquire the rocket, and another 1,000 simoleons just to start building on it. But we're gonna go out there and start hammering, start sawing, all of that. And just food for thought. Something I really love about the animation, like it shows you, of course, like her working on it, but you'll see in a second, she literally gets blown up from her from her little torch gun, and you literally get to see her progress as she continues building. That happens less and less, and there's just less mistakes that goes on when she's building. So I like that. And then she levels up to level 3 of rocket science. So you level up fairly quickly whenever you're just working on this, but it does take some time. Okay, I didn't cheat this. I was literally just building into the day, into the night, until she was dazed, and then I just took the mood away and I had her do it again. But I went to go check on my hubby. He's drawing an ugly stick figure man running. And then this is what I mean when I said she tried to give up on me. Because, girl, you like rocket science. I don't care if you say you don't right now. You're going to like it when you start meeting aliens. I know it's hard work right now, but it will pay off. You just trust the process, okay? Like, we got to stick in there. So I told her ass, no. But it started raining, and I could just see she was really uncomfortable and annoyed, so I just let her, chill out. And I really thought it was the rain that was upsetting her, but the fact is, she literally hopped in the pool afterwards and decided to lay on the floaty while it was raining. So, I mean, hey. And then to get her out of her dazed, state, I wanted to invoke some creativity in her. So I wanted her to get to, painting and stuff, and she created Lady and the Tramp, which I think is cool, but she didn't do the best. But I could tell what it was. So, she did good enough, but it's not great. So before I realized I was completely in the wrong by being an intern as an astronomer, I was going to work, coming back, building this rocket, going to work, coming back, building this rocket, and then I realized I am in the completely wrong profession. But prior to me correcting it, I actually found out that you can have two people work on the rocket at the same time. Once you get it out of that initial state, you both can continue working on the rocket. Now, I will say that is good and bad. It is a helpful hand, but it's also a hindrance because of the fact you're not getting all of the skills yourself. You're technically sharing it with somebody else while you're building. So, it kind of splits up the experience, but it does make the job go by faster. So even after we continue building, you can now upgrade parts. And there were two parts ready to be upgraded. And so, of course, I took on one part and then my husband took on the other. And we worked on it together. Got double the work done in, half the time. However, I got half the experience. So you just got to keep that in mind. You can always cheat, rocket science skills and stuff of that nature. But then we just go ahead and explore space a little bit, kind of see what we're working with before we actually get to meet the aliens. And while we're away, we get a mysterious message saying, once in orbit, Elsie gets an odd message from the International SIMS space station. It's badly garbled and makes little sense. Elsie decides to fly over and check it out. And you can keep track of your rocket science experience and leveling when you go over to the rocket pad as well. But then we get our next set of issues with technical difficulties. Elsie arrives at the station, which is unusually dark. She flips on the flashlight and is startled by a disheveled looking astronaut. Thank goodness you came. Our main power coupling is shot. Is there anything you can do to help? Me knowing that I am not the best rocket scientist out there, I radio for some help, child, because, baby, I'm liable to fuck anything up. You hear me? I ain't top tier just yet. And so they come back to us with another message saying, Sunset Valley, we have a problem. Elsie apologizes for not having the skills to fix the station and sends a message from the rocket to headquarters. It'll be a few days before help arrives, but the astronaut should make it, assuming no one hogs all the blankets. And then it also lets us know that she found one uncommon space rock. And once again, I just have to say, I am a fan for the animation. And right now we've got two upgrades that we can put on to our rocket. So we're going to get those upgraded and then we're going to go off to work. So that way we can continue to get our promotions, get to that 10th level promotion, and be able to go find the aliens. And just like that, we've leveled up to level 5 of our rocket science skill. Once again, if you don't want to wait around to just upgrade and build your rocket to have your rocket skill, you can go ahead and, max that out with the cheat and just build your rocket regularly. And I think it'll probably go a lot smoother. You won't have a lot of backfires since, you're at least smart enough to do it by that point anyway. But yeah, as you level up your rocket science skills, you'll have more upgrades to do on your rocket, which is where I kind of knew I messed up with inviting my hubby to help me on this rocket because I wasn't a certain level to unlock some of the upgrades that was needed for the rocket in order for me to get to, Simics. So I kind of had to do double time in terms of work. Yes, I could have cheated it. I just really didn't feel like it. I don't know why, but I just went and read more books and was just doing extra stuff with the rocket, going to explore all this extra stuff when I just really could have just cheated it. But just let y'all know, don't let anybody help you with the rocket because you're going to be lacking skills when it comes time to do certain upgrades, which there's other ways to get experience, but it would just be easier if you did everything yourself and you gained all that experience yourself and you don't have to do any extra explorations or anything like that in order to gain your upgrades. And y'all, I leave my rocket alone for like 12 hours and I come back and it's burnt to a crisp. I'm guessing because the lightning struck it. I don't know. But good thing we are spellcasters, so nothing a wave of a wand can't handle, you know? But I'm going to send her on an exploration because as you can see, we have no further upgrades because I need to level up. And I will also add some explorations are longer than others. Like this exploration, I only received like 2 prompts and she came back home. While like the last exploration we went on, there was probably about 4 or 5 different prompts before she came back home. So they're not all going to be the same length. They're not all going to give you the same, interactions. I have had the same interaction before, like when it came to racing rockets, but I did receive different outcomes when it came to those races. And you can't really predict what your trip is going to look like or the outcome of your trip. So that's something I do like as well. Y'all, I lied to you not. It took me so long to realize the fact that she's not supposed to be an astronaut. Like, she's not supposed to be in that career at all. It took me so long to realize this. Mind you, the rocket is one upgrade away from being fully finished. And I have not yet started on my science career. Like, crazy. And quick side note, I got this really large space rock from one of my excursions, one of my explorations, and I just made it a centerpiece in my formal living room. So, being that I was playing in the wrong career path as an astronomer instead of a scientist, I just went ahead and played up to level 10 promotion, my science career, and just came back to you guys once I've done all that. So, being that we are maxed out in our scientist career and we have maxed out in our rocket scientist skill, we can now install the wormhole generator on our rocket, which then allows us to go to Simics. And after it takes us about 12 hours to install that wormhole generator, we are finally able to travel through the wormhole. And yes, it's time for her to go to work, but we're not going to work today. I don't care. We're not going. And then he brings out our daughter. Okay, we just had a baby, y'all. There's a lot y'all missed anyway. We eloped, we had a baby. There was just a lot we did during that span of time when I was, getting my scientist career up. It was a lot for this mommy, okay? She was pregnant, she was grinding at her job, she was trying to fix this rocket. There was a lot going on in her life. But I absolutely love where it was just kind of like she was waving to them. I just don't know why he would sit her down like by the rocket pad. Did you want her to get burned up? You must not care about our child, you know? But I thought that was kind of nice, come and see mommy off. But yeah, if he would have left her on the ground right there, she would have been burnt up. But we finally reached the cusp of the wormhole and we beamed down, baby. And as soon as we land, we automatically become a notable newcomer, I guess because the amount of exploration we've been doing obviously added to our fame, and then for us to finally make it to Simics just secures our fame. And this is what really annoyed me because there was like no way for me to be like, no, take a vacation day or stay home or call in sick. It literally like forced her to go to work. So I had to like cancel it, and she left on her broomstick, and I'm like, you are a witch, gah. So she leaves on her broomstick, and I just had to think fast, and I was like, okay, I can like shift click to teleport her back, so that way we don't have to take the trip again, or like, I don't know. It was it was a lot. I was like, oh gosh, I hope it doesn't like take me back. And then there's no cell phone service here, so it's not like I could like hit travel on the phone or something like that, because you can't use your phone here. But anyway, this is Simics. This is a hidden world essentially within the Get to Work expansion pack for the scientist's career. You can meet aliens here. You can discover new plants. I even found an alien in this hole. I thought I was going to be finding like buried treasure or something. But no, it says Elsie found an alien. So I don't know what the alien's doing in that hole, but they're down there and they're living. Okay? So on top of finding stuff out here in this place, of course she's got to do push-ups because she's a fitness guru. Anyway, but you can go around getting samples of different, plants and things. There are alien people just regularly walking around like, they would on a regular lot. There aren't a whole bunch of them. Like, I thought I was going to see like a whole plethora of aliens, but I just didn't. I saw maybe about like 5 or 6, which is cool. But because I'm a scientist and all, I took cuttings of trees and different plants and things. Here go 2 aliens right here, who I introduced myself to. But yeah, it wasn't like a whole bunch of aliens that I thought it was gonna be. Like, I thought it was kind of gonna be like, they're gonna like take me to their leader. But I can definitely appreciate the language barrier because, they sound all alien-y and they don't sound like a regular sim. So I can definitely appreciate that. And I can't lie, I really wanted to ask one of the aliens for a DNA sample, but I really just didn't feel like being the best of friends with them to get a DNA sample, so. But I wanted to kind of see what I could do with a DNA sample from them, So now, if you'd like to bring an alien back home with you, you can. You can maybe, kidnap an alien, a little something, something. So what you're going to do is you're going to go back to your portal and you're going to hit, obviously, return home, and then you'll get a menu of who you can pick to return home with. And so I'm going to take the new girl that I met, the new alien that I met, and we're going to travel back home together. So when you're back home, you can obviously befriend them to the point where you can ask them to be, your roommate, or, move in, or whatever the case may be. Or you can just cheat it and add them to your family by shift clicking on your alien. So there's that. Even if you want to just bring them here to hang out with them at, your home instead of like the alien world. I hope you guys liked this video, enjoyed this video, learned something new maybe. If you guys have any questions for me, please leave them down below in the comment section. If not, please leave me a like. Please subscribe. Once again, I post 3 times a week, 5 p.m. Eastern time, and I shall see you guys in my next video. Have a great evening.